Ladies and gentlemen, it's not quite the off season yet because there's a lot to talk about. I mean, people forget that football is a year-round sport. And the reason why I say that is because there's really no off season. There really isn't. Because whatever we can think about, because it's quote unquote the Raiders off season, but is it? Is it really the Raiders off season? No. Because we're talking about coaching changes, we're talking about in other for other teams, but the NFL is always top shelf, but it can't always be that way because there's other things to talk about. Now, without mentioning any leagues, there's been upstarts trying to take that niche during the off season of the NFL. We won't mention any leagues that might have, got, not done quite so well. And then this year they're combined because that's them. That's them. I'm not going to belittle anything like that. But what I am going to say is that look out. Something that I've kind of been dropping for a while here, and you guys and gals know this, is the American Spring Football League. A concept which is it's taken hold and it's out there. And we're going to talk to the president of the American Spring Football League. Got the man right here. The president of the American Spring Football League. And without further ado, because I got on, if my mouse cooperates, I don't know why my mouse doesn't cooperate. There we go. It'll happen. It'll happen. There you go. It's slow.
There I am.
It's slow back, and I'll tell you why. Apologies here. It's because I had so many windows up for other things that I got going on, and I need to get rid of some. So while we're talking, I'm gonna be looking at the windows that I have up and get rid of stuff. But I know you get this a lot. You're not the singer.
I'm not. No,
you're not the singer.
I wish I could.
Do you? First off, do you have problems?
What was that?
Do you have problems with that? That they're always saying. Do you have problems with that? Where they're always saying you're the singer.
No, not at all. I mean, it's cool and everything. I mean, I've never listened to a song by the guitarist and singer Mac Davis. My favorite song is "Mac the Knife" by Bobby Darin, who I don't know if anyone knows how that song goes, but that's my favorite song. And if folks were to say something, I'd rather have them say that I'm Mac the Knife rather than the country singer Mac Davis.
And hopefully we'll be able to get you, because again I'm clicking X's to get rid of these other things. So hopefully we won't have that lag. Apologies there. But again, Mac the Knife is apropos because somebody that that does so much and wields a lot of power. Mm-hmm. with the flick of his wrist, and in your case, the what you can back up. And I'm very interested in, again, because people will say, "Tell me about Mac Davis," tell me about your interests. Tell me about all that you've accomplished at such a young age. And I say that with admiration. Is like, gentlemen and ladies, I'm an old bastard. Everybody knows that I'm an old bastard, but we have Mac here, and he's a young gentleman that has accomplished so much. So Mac, tell all those people that if they don't know who you are,
Yeah.
what you've already done at so far in sport.
Well, we started off. I personally came in to the American Spring Football League after I announced that I started to co-own the Wheeling Miners of the American Arena Football League. Um, you know, Michael reached out to me. I was talking with Michael. He really gave me a great idea, and he said, "Hey, he's like, hey, this is a cool opportunity for you to get involved with." And I really was like, you know what? I'll I'll get involved. I said I don't know where I want to be. I don't know what market I want to be in, but I'll get involved in some way. And we settled on a market in Austin, Texas. That's where my team will be. And then um, throughout the months leading to it, we just spoke, and now I'm thankful to be the president of the American Spring Football League. But a lot of people know me because of my start in horse racing and greyhound racing. I personally tapped into the racino business. You can see right behind me. I don't know if anyone notices, but I have my championship belt there that we got after 100 wins, and then to my other side right there is a photo of one of my horses who won. And I kind of got to start in the horse racing business, and now I'm venturing into the whole sport business. It's a very different industry. Horses, it's all about luck. People say they can pick a winner. I personally don't believe in that. I believe you have to get lucky, and I was thankful to be very lucky in the business. Same with the dog racing, which I recently got involved in. But a lot more goes into play with sport teams now, and I'd say I'm ready for the challenge. I'm very excited to be involved in this, and I'll continue to have the horses, continue to have the greyhounds and stuff, but I'm really committed to making this league one of the best leagues in professional football that we have.
Like I said, look out, folks. It's like, for those that are always clamoring, I said, what are we going to do between the Super Bowl and training camp?
Yeah.
This is the answer, the American Spring Football League. But I think I don't think that everybody got a chance to that one little race that you won. I think you nicely, you didn't gloss over it, but you didn't put it up to exactly what race it was. So for those that don't know, go ahead, sir.
So I'm very thankful. I got to be a part of the 2023 Kentucky Derby ownership group who invested in the horse named Mage. Right behind me, right here, is actually the photo of all of us. I'll say this: I've never met more incredible people than being involved in something like that. It was a win for the ages. For just getting involved into the industry, it was one where you were like, oh my, it was like, wow. Woke up in May, got to the racetrack, and walked out with a Kentucky Derby winner under your belt. It's something that doesn't happen pretty often, and people give their lives really for all of that. I have to say that I'm very thankful for everyone who gave me that opportunity to get involved. And the ride we had with Mage was incredible. He's an incredible horse. I would say he's the horse of a lifetime. He's now retired. It's very disappointing, but he went out like a champion, and we're very so incredibly proud of him. So the whole group that was there that day, I kind of feel like we're a family now. So it's really good. I actually got a postcard in the mail from some of the folks that were there that day, and it was just special to really see that even though that might not mean the same for everyone, winning that race. Some people view it, they're like, okay, here's another race. Let's get back to it. Let's win it again this year. And others are still sitting back and thinking about it. It's really, really sweet that we were able to do that. Whoever said I look like a PBR rider, thank you. I take that. That's very nice.
I,
Anna,
I
I was
was
just
I
at the
was just
PBR.
I was just clicking to pop up.
I was just at the
Yeah.
PBR
And so
2
again,
weeks.
and again, obviously, yep. And that was that. Well, was were you out for the big event in Vegas a little while ago?
No, I was over here in New York City for the PBR Buck Off at the Garden. Absolutely crazy. Well, Anna mentions it here. She said I look like a PBR rider. I don't ride any of the bulls, but in like give me 2 weeks, you're gonna be seeing on my Instagram a couple stories of my own personal bulls that will be competing in the PBR. So I'm very excited about that.
And you know what? As you say, it's nice to be able to say that I ride, but you know
Yeah,
what? It's also better, in my estimation. It's better to say, well, I might not ride, but I got these bulls that are winners. I got these
yeah.
thoroughbreds that are winners. I got these dogs that are winners. So
Mhm.
again, being involved with that, and I got to go back to your first. I was going to say your first inroads into the
Yeah.
sporting world. I believe was with the dogs.
So I
Tell us a little
started
about
off.
that because I know
Yeah.
you're from Florida.
Yeah. I Greyhound racing is like one of the worst days I'll say was when we found out that Greyhound racing was going to be banned in the state of Florida. I'm a Florida native. I love being from the great Sunshine State, and it's part of our culture here. I don't know how many of you folks know Florida, but dog racing and high lie are two sports. High lie is where you throw a ball at a wall and you try to catch it again with a cesta. It's those two sports are really the two things that we kept in the state of Florida for so long. And then when it came out that greyhound racing was going to get its end in the state, I lived right next to Derby Lane. Um, Here's what I'll say: the the thing about greyhound racing is there's always that welfare involved, and I'm not going to shy away from it. Welfare is huge, and being able to work with animals as athletes, and we have to treat them that way. And it's disappointing to find out that some of the tracks in Florida were not treating them to that same standard. So, the Greyhound Association was devastated. People were gutted. I was very disappointed, but we got into Wheeling, West Virginia, where Wheeling Island Hotel Racetrack and Casino is, and we were really able to work in Wheeling. I have a great dog. Her name's Jumping Jill. Love her to death, to be honest. She's an incredible dog, and the people that are in that industry, the dog racing industry, have done so much to allow for me to still be able to be a part of that sport. And it's really nice. James Campbell, he's the trainer for my dog. He's an incredible guy. Um, the Cooley family, who owns the kennel I'm at, they have done a incredible job of just allowing for me to get involved at my age level too. They introduced my dog into their kennel, and then some of the other people I met along the way. There's someone, her name is Trish. Her and she got me actually really involved with the Greyhounds. I have to give her a special shout out because without her help, I probably wouldn't have been able to own the Greyhounds and, in my opinion, own a arena football team in the city of Wheeling. So the connections that I've made really in that industry have allowed for me to get uh, successful in that sport, as well as move on to other ventures like now our arena football team and now our American Spring Football League. I do see a comment in the chat. It says, "Would it not have been a better approach to implement guardrails for dog racing rather than shutting it down?" Um, you know, it's a good question, but the way that they voted on it was they allowed for the state of Florida, the Florida residents, to go to the voters booth and vote on whether it was allowed or not. And the organizations, we in the horse racing and dog racing business, we fight them all the time. And same in the PBR, I can speak for them as well. PETA, we in greyhound racing, we have someone called Grade 2K who comes after us all the time for what I call nonsense. They use outdated information to push their agendas, but they they're when you aren't doing that research, if Grade 2K will tell you right now, they'll say that a dog dies every 20 days at a greyhound track, and no dog has died in the last, I would say, year. I mean, you can fact check me if I'm wrong, but the last year I haven't seen a greyhound die, and I've been watching it every single week. So it they're gonna say that to get you to believe something and get you frustrated and angry over it. And I totally get it. Florida voters went to it. If I was someone who was voting there, I would have um, I would have been frustrated too if I learned that there were dogs dying every day. But when that's not the case, and then you kind of sit there and you're like, okay, this isn't really as bad as I thought, and that's very disappointing. As for what you said there, they're not in the dog racing industry; they're against our dog racing industry. I have no problem with them not liking what we do, but uh, we do this for a living. We care for the dogs. I will tell you, the people I work with are not making billions of dollars on dog racing. They're doing it out of the love of the animal, and um, it's disappointing that we have people pushing fake agendas onto people and making them believe stuff that's not true. And uh, it's frustrating because we might see this in other states like West Virginia coming soon as we get a new governor in West Virginia. As for that question, um, what other states would you venture into dog racing? So dog racing is illegal in 42 states around in the U.S. And it's not illegal in some of those, but they have high regulations on it. Like you can't gamble on just live dog racing, so you can still run dogs, but you can't gamble on it. So there's not really a business there. Um, it would be where I would put another place would be either Arkansas or Alabama. We've been looking at moving into Alabama for a couple things, but it's truly at the end of the day, it decides on what the Greyhound Association wants and what they're able to do. I'm going to be adding a team in Austin, Texas, so who knows? Maybe I'll put a team there. Why would a racing owner want their dog to die? Yeah,
Right.
basically,
Again,
like
yeah.
it's like
What
why
yeah.
yeah, it's like why would I want my horse to die? Everyone's like, oh, because you can claim all the money on it, but we don't. My trainer lost his horse a while ago, and he was absolutely heartbroken. And then this group called Horse Racing Kills. I have no problem with them pushing their lives to everyone, but they clearly lie to the people who look at their content, and it's sad to see because these folks these folks are just getting brainwashed with lots of things coming in and out. And they see a horse die and they're like, "Oh, someone killed it," and it's like, no, the horse. Accidents happen. We're in a sport with animals, an accident will happen. Can we prevent those injuries from happening? Yes. Do we? Yes. That's the thing. And but if two horses clip heels, it's no one's fault. And at the end of the day, no one wants a horse to die. That's not why we're there. We're not here to claim insurance money on it. And Horse Racing Kills believes that we just are there to race these animals to their death. and it's disappointing because they don't listen to anything. I tell them, they say that we drug all the horses. I say walk into any one of my barn at any time. I say I'll give you complete access to it. You'll never find anything there. And it's like it's these people just don't understand how how it all works, and it's very disappointing. Dog racing to Vegas, I honestly don't think there's going to be a market for it. I think it's a good idea, but it's the same thing. Why is horse racing not in Vegas? It's because you can go to every casino and you can watch it on TV. I don't think there's that live the how we what the problem is in that industry is if I want to be the one to, it's like, why isn't there a dog track in Hot Springs, Arkansas? It's because Oaklawn Park is right next door, and you can bet on the dogs at Oaklawn. And maybe you can bridge something and hope it works. But when there's other forms of entertainment, for example, I can't put in my dog track, I couldn't put slot machines. I could, but what will make someone come out to my dog track instead of going to the casino in Vegas where they're living it up already? They get free hotel rooms, they get all of that. It's just not probable there. The spot I think where dog racing would do great would be Mobile or Birmingham, Alabama. Those are two great locations for it. And then Arkansas is a really good untouched market. They used to have a team in West Memphis, not a team, a track in West Memphis, and it sadly shut down. But I personally believe if you focused on like Little Rock or somewhere like that, you'd be able to get a better track, at least for the time being. And the question for someone saying, why don't you bring dog racing to Kansas? It is legal here. Yeah, the National Greyhound Association is headquartered in Kansas. And, I think what they want is they want folks just to come in. They do a meet every year. I absolutely love the NGA. The whole team does really well. But there's no really talks on a track. They're in Abilene, Kansas, which is like 40 minutes out of Salina, and then an hour 20 out of Manhattanville. So that's the closest spot where greyhound racing is.
And I wanted to interject real quick. I was looking to see which profile you're on, Janet. Thank you for being here as well. It's good to see you, and always blessings to hear from General Ron Rickard's wife, Janet Rickard. Blessings to you, hugs and love. Unfortunately, Mac, you don't know who the general was, but Janet's husband was a Raider fan that went to, I want to say, I'm probably really blowing the numbers, but it was at least 250 straight, if not more, Raider games in a row.
Wow.
In a row.
He was serious.
Yes, sir. And he was, not only was he a fan that was looked upon as a elite super fan, he was actually a Hall of Fame fan in the National Football Hall of Fame. He was in the Hall of Fame, and actually, the gentleman.
Did he get a ring or no? Gotta get him a championship ring there.
Actually, he did get a ring
for
being in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
and he had his Hall of Fame ring for being a member of the Hall of Fame prior to, because they had the Ford Hall of Fans, which actually my friend Violator was that I do the show with prior to this. He is a Hall of Fame member, and the General Ron Rickard, blessings to him, and may he rest in peace. And Janet, thank you for coming in on that, and we appreciate. It's good seeing you as well. So thank you. I just had to. I was looking for the Facebook profile, just going to write it up, but I couldn't get to it. So again, an interjection. But thanks again, Janet, and come in anytime. We love you. And one other thing, like I said, you were talking about, the fact that you started with the dogs.
Yeah.
You went to horse racing, and you are, into your thoroughbreds. And as you know, and as you stipulated, it makes no sense when you have a product that is a racing product that is animals. It makes no sense to destroy your animals, because you're destroying your product. And people have to understand that. And I'm not going to get into politics here, but when you're stupid, you're stupid, and I'm just
Yeah.
sorry to say that. So I'll let you off the hook on that one. You didn't say it, I did.
No, yeah. Well, that's why I was trying to hint at for most of the time. You know, for the record, the average thoroughbred costs $75,000. I don't know many people who feel like throwing away $75,000 for entertainment to watch an animal die. Most people won't do that. But I guess that is rooted somewhere in those animal right people's brains. I don't know. I'm not a psychologist. I don't know how the whole mind works and everything, but I don't know what went wrong in their teachings, but hopefully they can figure something out pretty soon, because it's disappointing to see. I've had friends who've actually turned into uh, people like that, and it's really disappointing to see. So it's disappointing.
And again, it's not. And one other thing, like I said, folks, it's not cockfighting.
Yeah.
It's not where animals destroy each other and slice each other like they do in third world countries. And again, it's not dog fighting that a certain member of the NFL got in trouble for and was blackballed for many years, because those are dogs that are killing each other. These are folks that are racing their animals. There's going to be incidents and issues, but by the most part, the owners, not by all parts, the owners are going to make sure that their dogs are taken care of, that they have the highest, resources to keep them well fed and well maintained. As to owners in the race industry for thoroughbreds, people are not going to be looking to mess over their animals. And so I appreciate Mac saying that, because it's obvious to me, it's obvious to most people. And Mac is here saying he puts in the money and the resources to keep his animals well groomed, well maintained, and well cared for.
Well, for the dogs, it's pretty easy. A lot of those people, they try to use the narrative that, quote, I heard it a while ago on someone was telling me, they're like, well, you have a jockey on the dog, you have a jockey on the horse, and you're pushing it to the extreme when it doesn't want to run. And, the horses are born to run. My horse loves to run. Half the time the jockey won't even use the whip because he's going as fast as he can. And for the dogs, it's pretty simple. They put them in the box opens, and if the dog didn't want to run, it wouldn't run. I'm pretty sure of that because I have a dog at home. She's a pit boxer mix, and I have tried to make her walk down the street, and she didn't want to walk, and she put her foot down, and she was not walking. So it's not like these animals are getting beaten to run. They decide if they want to run or not. So it's like the people who say all of that, I think don't understand basic animal anatomy and also how things work. And it's a little disappointing to see, at least.
Again, great answer, and of course, and I appreciate you keeping up with because I was going to throw them out there as well. And see, this is an easy interview for me because the man has all the talking points as well as keeps in with the chat, and I appreciate that, Mac. You're making my job very easy.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. Now we did talk about how you went from the dogs to the horses. And you said that you went from Florida to Wheeling, West Virginia, which was a natural segue.
Yeah.
Your West Virginia is close to Kentucky, so you're close to your thoroughbreds, but it also I'm pretty sure it gave you your inroads into the football leagues and how that happened.
So what happened was I was sitting around, and you know what? I'll be completely honest here. I was sitting around one day. I flick on the TV. I'm scrolling through on my YouTube, and I'm like, what do I have to watch? And arena football popped up, and I was like, this is awesome. I kind of fell in love with it. Tampa Bay had a team, the Tampa Bay Storm. That's my team. Love them. Season ticket holder. Great team. Sadly, they went away in like 2017. Rough loss for us, but I was sitting here. I was thinking, what could I do that would be able to connect? Not only could it help the dogs in Wheeling, but it could also allow for me to get to know this city more because I'm ready to pour in tons into the dog racing that's in Wheeling. So I said, what can I do to do that? And I reached out to a league and I said, hey, I'm interested in having a I'm interested in having a team. They're like, oh great, where? And I said, Wheeling, West Virginia. And they said, well, we got this guy who's already there, and his name's Chris Duffy. He's easily one of my top guys now in who I work with, and one of the people that I also credit for helping my career. And we got we got together. I get on the phone with them, and we kind of just were chatting like you and I right now. And it ended off with, "Oh yeah, by the way, I'd like to buy into the football team." And he goes, "Great. What percent you want?" I said, You want to go 50-50?" He's like, "Fine, let's do it." Boom, and I was in. So, and in Wheeling, I gotta say, the city of Wheeling has been incredible for us. I'm so honored to be able to be in that city. I have met so many people. In I haven't been yet. I gotta tell you, haven't been. But I've been able to virtually meet a ton of great people. I got to give some shout outs to folks in the city who've been able to welcome me. Raj Riley, um, Chris Ann, they've all been doing a incredible job. Danny has also been helping us out really well. And then the whole team in Wheeling is really so committed to making sure this season really goes well. And then so many people who are behind the scenes who are really promoting this, like we got this guy named Josh who's been really helping us with the team, who's promoting us. A ton of really great folks in the area who kind of welcomed me into the city itself so far, and have made this into a great team, regardless of how we finish off in the season. They've really made this into something special, and for the city, I'm honored to be welcomed to that city. So I'm very thankful to be in Wheeling.
I was going to say I did get a chance to see a Storm game or two before they
Yeah,
folded. Lincoln Kennedy, who is a friend of the program, the Raiders right tackle for the Super Bowl, along with being the color analyst for Raider Nation Radio on the radio. He actually played for the Storm.
yeah.
So there are NFL players that have played in the American Arena Football League, and so it's. I'm glad to see that it's still viable because once the Storm left the Arena Football League,
Yeah.
and again, you're from down here as well.
Mhm.
It's crickets. You don't hear much about it,
No.
and I know they still existed, but if you can,
Now,
give me a synopsis of
yeah.
what the AFL is, the Arena Football League. And I'll make sure because there's a lot of acronyms there.
Mhm.
What the Arena Football League is doing nowadays with your ownership in Wheeling, and how it goes across the board.
So we're in the American Arena League 2 right now, which is the developmental league for the American Arena League, and it is a smaller based market. It's a more cost effective one. Arena football is one of those sports that you either do right or you just can't get it right. And I'm gonna ask you, did you know about the Tampa Bay Tornadoes? Do you know about that team?
No,
No.
and I'm right here because, and I'm sure somebody in their advertising is
Yep.
not doing their job.
Tampa Bay Tornadoes were a team that played from 2021 to 2023. And by the looks of it, someone who's in love with football, if you didn't know about them, no wonder that they're gone. They played over in Lakeland too, which is a little hike to get to. So, um, but for us, we're really working on making this league good enough to where we'll still be able to work. What we don't want to have happen is we don't want to set ourselves up so high to a standard where we're really focused on, selling ourselves out like we're the NFL. We're not the NFL. We're arena football. Folks who think we're the NFL, I mean, great, that's good for you, but I try to keep it real. We're not going to be the NFL, so we're not going to be selling this like we are. So our season tickets are low, cost effectable. We're all about building a fun family experience and a fun experience for the town, and we don't need to do that by trying to get our pockets really wealthy. We're here for the town. We're not here for our own pockets. I got involved in this to have fun. I'm not looking to make billions of dollars off it. I'm just here to have fun. At my age, I'm thankful to be able to say that, I'm just having fun doing what I'm doing right now. Someone put in the chat about 12 messages up where the football team would be.
I was going to segue into it at the right time, but yes, sir.
Yeah. Well, I just noticed it there. My team will be in Austin, Texas. The other league locations we have are coming out soon. We have someone coming in Jackson, Mississippi. This is for the American Spring Football League, the team that I have the team in Texas. I can't drop the name of it yet, but we're very excited about that team coming into town. It's going to be in Austin, and we're still kind of in the starting stages of building that, where we're going to be playing and all of that. But one thing I'll say is Mike knows how. Mike Dwyer, who's been running this for years. End of the day, he's not. Him and I might be business partners, but I view him as one of my close friends now because I get on the phone with him and we could be chatting about football, and then before you know it, we're chatting about where we're going to dinner or what's going on. He's coming out to see my horse show in February in Phoenix. So we're really excited about that. That horse is a beauty too, so we should really do well.
And Mike, like you said, chatting to Mike, Mike's Mike, and Mike. Last time I spoke with him, he was chatting about his garden. He was chatting about the league. He was chatting about different. So it's a great conversation to have, and that is one of the things I liked about the ASFL concept is that it's real people talking sports and life and getting people involved in the right way.
Yeah, well, here's what I'll say. Coming from a business where in the horse racing world, we're all working together and working in this way, and I get to know everyone, but I don't really get to have that friend personal relationship with them. Where like where we're chatting away on something that has nothing to do with the horses. And Mike actually, I think he knows more about. It's funny. He kind of keeps me up to date too. He's like, so you're running the 5th race. I'm like, oh, okay, wow, great. I'm like, great to know that you're staying up to date on it. So I kind of see him as like, one of those close friends that I get to have, and then I get to have the pleasure of working with him on this really incredible project that he introduced me to. So I'm very happy about that.
Right now, again, as the president, and I think you dropped some information which is available and is able to be dropped. Yeah, you were saying that you have the Austin market.
I have the Austin market right now, and all of this can be accessed on our website. You can see everything. You can read the press releases. There's other people who have other markets. We have one in Arkansas. We have one in Mississippi, and we're just filling up the league still with a couple more folks who are ready to come in, and we're picking out those markets that work best for us. I can't say where we're going to put those teams and what stadiums we're going to put them in because I just can't say that right now. There's Mike in the chat.
See, there you go. See, hey, Hey, boss, we're not saying anything we're not supposed to.
Yeah.
Because we're keeping things straight, keeping it real.
Yeah. Well, but what I'm saying is, we're gonna be able to we're gonna have a great series of locations coming in, and it's gonna be a really fun year coming up. I gotta say I'm confident in this team. Someone says, can this league expand north? You know what? We're
Why
gonna
not?
see. Yeah, we're gonna see what happens this year, and well, not this year, next year, and we'll make those decisions. We're already looking at slowly, going around the whole map, and it it's really nice to see the dedication. Here, what I'll say is, I like to see someone who's dedicated to a project, and Mike is really dedicated to this. You know, he lives in California. I split between Florida and New York. There's a 3 hour delay in everything, and I'll send him a message at like 6 a.m. and he'll respond back. And it's like Mike, go to bed. I'm like, you don't need to worry about us. I'm like, you can just take it whenever. He's up and moving. He's ready to go anytime. So, when I get approached by other people trying to get involved, trying to get folks who there's people who are like, oh, can you expand in this sport with me? Can you do this? It's like, are the commitment that we have, from the whole team is really incredible in the American Spring Football League, and that's one that is gonna be a successful and healthy work environment.
Yeah, I was going to say, and I see this at where
Yeah,
NFL Nation Live said Mike never sleeps. Mike
he
is
does
up before
not.
me, folks.
Yeah,
Mike is up before me. I'm old and I'm a Nighthawk, so I might be more on your schedule, Mac. But
yeah,
but Mike is up at like maybe 5, 6 in the morning out west, and he told me it's because he needs to be there to catch the information that's coming out at 9 o'clock
yeah.
Eastern,
Uh-huh.
and he's there. Mike is there, and he is making sure that things will be well maintained. And
Yeah,
it might be quote unquote a mess, but Michael Dwyer is
yeah.
Johnny on the spot and does what he needs to do.
He's ready to get it done wherever. Whoever said they're moving to the USA tomorrow, welcome.
Yeah,
Very
Richie
exciting.
Riche is our Canadian. He's a
Yeah.
great guy. Great guy.
Hmm.
Yeah. Richie Riche is an American that is displaced in Canada. He just doesn't have the citizenship. He
Uh,
loves he loves everything about the USA. Apple pie, red,
hmm.
white, and blue. I ain't gonna say Chevrolet because I'm not really a Chevrolet guy. Just like the old song,
Hmm.
guns. Just like the old
Yep.
the old song, guns and hats. And Richie Riche is the man, and he's an American citizen without being an American citizen. He
Hmm.
just needs the paperwork. He's a great guy. And Jason Dean Hunter is in Dallas, and he said that he will be following to when the league gets started. And I know Jason Dean, he is a man of his word. Whichever franchise is closest, if not a few of them,
Yeah.
Jason Dean will be following them around because Jason Dean is a sports fan. He's a football fan. That's why he's here. And he's the market. He's the market of the people that want to see football in the quote unquote off season. There's
Yeah.
never an off season with
Hmm.
football. And now we're going to actually have a product, and Mac is the president of that product. So just stand by when things are able to be given out officially. They
Yeah.
will be given out officially, and let me make sure I got my hands. See, I always need to forget that it's opposite. That
Hmm.
is the guy as the president, and Michael Dwyer is the man as the person who runs the league that will be giving out the information. So just lock on, and they'll give it out when they need to. And if I'm lucky enough to be out there banging the drum and tooting the horn, I will be out there as well. So I
Well,
definitely
what
appreciate
I'll
that.
say is, Jason, we're going to be announcing a lot of things coming in the next couple of weeks. We're moving quick on this process. We're getting it all set up so we can really be successful in 2025 when we come into the league. So I would be following us around. We're gonna be making a lot of great announcements coming soon. I'm very excited for it. I know Mike is. He's been waiting a long time for this, so it's gonna be a very exciting venture that we have going on here, and we're gonna be able to really make it work. I think we're gonna knock it all down.
And Mac, I'm not sure if you
Yeah,
had a chance. And again, I want to make sure that the introductions are given as well.
yeah,
NFL Nation Live is David Grant,
hmm
who is going to be the man when it comes to officiating in the American Spring Football League. He is the man, and he is one that will make sure that the Zebras are not these guys
yeah,
that you look at and you pull your hair out,
hmm
because Ref Guru, aka David Grant, will be there. And Ref, I was waiting again. I love you guys. You're on it. I was waiting for the right segue to get you all back into the
yeah,
conversation. But yeah, well, and like I said, Ref will be beating the drum for the ASFL. I know Mac is. I know that obviously Michael is, and there are other folks. I'm one of them that will be beating the drum and tooting the horn. And yes, I know there's one more, and I didn't say your name yet, sir, because he has been a vital portion of the conduit of the American Spring Football League. And
hmm
people who know me know who it is. And if you don't know, then you're not paying attention in the chat either. So that's all I'm going to say. But yeah, we're ready, and Mac is ready, and Michael Dwyer is ready, Ref Guru is ready to have that product. Now, having said that,
yeah,
what do you envision will be the structure? Because people are already talking about when how many players, what the
hmm
concepts are going to be, maybe how many teams, what the structure is, and the big question also is when. When do you envision this to take place? If all goes as planned, if
yeah.
all goes well. I'm not trying to load you up with a
No, no,
loaded
you're good.
question. I just want to make sure that you can speak to things that you are feel free to speak about.
Yeah, so the questions on what's the salary per player, all of that, it's a little too early to tell
Right.
on on all of that. I gotta be honest, our football team starts up in 4 months, and we don't even have our guaranteed salary per player in the arena league. So, stuff like that is going to be a little rough to do. But we're looking at 6 to 8 teams. I believe we're going to be able to get 8 in with ease in the next couple. We're going to have it all locked down by May. This in May of this year. So, well, I'll give or take. I'll be at the Derby. I'll be making some moves there. So by June, we'll have all 8 teams' names and locations put out there, and through that, after that, we're going to be working with each team, making sure that we set them up for success, and you know, it's not only I'm not going to be the guy. I have a team in Austin. I'm not going to be the guy who's like only focused on Austin. This is a league. I get to be the. I'm thankful to be the president of the league, and I want to make sure that our league is the best possible, rather than just the team. So we're finishing up those finishing touches. We're having all the owners agree on those, and then we're going to be able to go into and then we'll be able to go into to all of those little details that you see. But what I'll say is we're going to be kicking off in spring of 2025, and we're going to be coming in pretty well known by that time. So it's going to be a very exciting time. We're I'm excited about it. We're bringing in a lot of great people who I can't announce yet, but you're going to see them in a couple of weeks, and we're just we're just right now we're building this league to make it the best spring football league, and a lot of folks know that we're running. A lot of folks are saying that they're like, oh, spring football comes and goes all the time, and it's like, that's a great observation, kind of like arena football. But what I'll say is, we're we're doing this the right way. We're currently still in the process. We're finalizing where we're going to have all these folks. We're looking for owners, and we're looking for some groups in other locations too. I can name a couple of those. It's We're looking at Waco, San Antonio, Oklahoma. We have Springfield, Missouri, and we're even looking at bringing it to my favorite spot where the Kentucky Derby's run, Louisville, Kentucky, and we're also looking at Lubbock, Texas. So we have a lot of great options that we're going to be able to put teams in. We have a team coming into to Arkansas. I'm very excited for them, and then we have a team coming into to Mississippi. And I love the SIP, and I'm excited that someone wants to put a team over in the greater Jackson area. I'm very excited about that.
And again, folks, these are plans.
Yeah.
These are we're looking to. It's remember the Jello is been the hot water has been poured into the Jello mix, and
Yeah.
it's still liquid. So these are plans. Things come and go, and that's why I said, so
Here's what I'll say.
don't say it that it's solid yet. Go ahead, Mac.
It's like it's like when, I don't know how many of you guys have ever read an annual report, but as an investor, I get them all the time. These are forward-looking statements, and in annual reports, these forward-looking statements are executed. But we're, of course, they can't always be executed to the point where we want them to be. But we're trying to get to that successful point where we can have those teams executed in spots. And who knows? Maybe someone who was originally for Louisville says, "Hey, I want to move to Lexington." That's okay. It's like, of course, stuff's gonna happen. Those are proposed locations, but what we know is we're gonna have the best locations possible. And even if we don't make it on the first round, if you're like someone who's in, let's say you're in like Biloxi or somewhere, and you're like, oh, I wish I have a team, and we don't make it to you, then who knows? When we get into our second year and we look to expand, those spots are going to be the places we still want to expand to. They just didn't fit with our initial first spot. So like, we're going to be in Birmingham, Alabama. And in Alabama, it's a really hard market to do, but we're going to try it out. And I'm 100% confident that Mike can get it done with the way he's been getting everything else done. And teams come and go. I'll say that. Teams move around. I just learned that the Mississippi Braves that play in Jackson, or will they play in Pearl, Mississippi, are now moving to Columbus, Georgia. Am I a little disappointed? I am. But another team's going to be coming into that spot, so they're not really losing that. We're making sure any location that we sign, for example, Austin is signed, sealed, delivered. Jackson, same way. Alabama, same way. Arkansas, same way. So all of those are signed in and good to go. We're just still looking for those locations where we're going to be putting the other teams.
Asylum, if you empty your bank account and invest with a couple other people, if you're interested, Asylum and me would probably go in on it, but my bank account is not as well as Asylum's is. But we'll see. And by the way, folks, this is real. If you want to do any sort of investments, okay, go to the ASFL website. Go to where the keep up to date on what's going on with the ASFL, and Mac will do that with his Twitter as well, sir.
Yeah. So for example, what kind of cost does it look like for ownership? Great question. It really depends on what you want to get involved in. I know that I'll be selling smaller shares to folks out um, for my football team, for people to get involved in. And I want to make sure, of course we're going to be selling them for a certain price. That's what happens. But if you want to get involved in that, uh, you're more than happy to invest in a team like that. I truly recommend anyone who's interested. Send us an email. We'll get on a call with you. We'll break it all down. We'll be able to work with you on those prices. So, it we my team has 35% available in it, and we're working on what price per share that would be, and yeah, like you said, just stay up to date with us. We're going to be having tons of opportunities, and we want to get everyone who's possible, anyone who wants to get involved. We of course want to help and see if we can allow for them to get involved.
And Mac, I'm trying to find the link. I'm hoping that
Yeah,
yeah, it's slowing
I'm
down
not
the
saying.
computer, and I apologize. I'm trying
Yeah.
to find the link for it. I'll tell you what, if you say it and I can type pretty quick, and correctly, I'll put that link out there for anybody that wants to be involved with it as well.
Yeah, hold on. I actually can just send it to everyone
And
right
and
now.
by the way, right, check out on Twitter. I had Mac's Twitter up. I got to get rid of you, Hollywood, for a minute. His Twitter was, and of course I got rid of it. I believe it's at Davis _ Davis, and there was a number if I remember correctly.
Yeah, now I would just say hop on to you can just hit me up on Instagram and I'll respond. That's our website that I just sent out, and then my Instagram is.
I'll see if you send it to my message. I'll be sure to put it up, Mac.
I don't know if anyone can see that. Did they get up there?
If
Or
you put it,
yeah, there
if
they
you
are.
put it, right. If you put
Oh,
it, if you
I have
put,
to
there you go.
put the link down here. Hold on, I'm going off screen.
There you go.
There we go.
I want to make sure that people can get to you.
Yeah, I
And
got you.
obviously, the American Spring Football League. Look it up.
Yeah.
For people that are in, like I said, this is happening. This is the man that's the president. Michael Dwyer is the man who is in charge and runs and everything about the league. And like you say, Richie Riche says your suit and your profile prick is solid. I said you could pull off a
Thank you.
cowboy hat. I'm gonna embarrass myself, Mac. I'm gonna embarrass
I
myself,
mean,
Mac.
do you have a cowboy hat?
Yes, sir, I
Oh,
do.
you got the same one.
Uh,
Yeah,
it might be. It might be. But
well,
I will anytime I hang out with you, sir, I'll make sure I have my cowboy hat on hand.
we'll go to Tampa Bay Downs one day, and we'll be showing up in the cowboy hats and
Okay.
looking fresh.
Yeah. And like I said, I will make sure that I will give you a Captain Jack pin.
We'll wear that. We're gonna
That,
win.
that is my Captain Jack pin. So you can
That's
have a
awesome.
Captain Jack pin that you can put on, and there's very few of them. In fact, I don't. They're not my pins. They were actually a part of the League of Bandits. So I need to try to figure out how to get some more. But you will get a Captain Jack pin if you want to ever wear it and sport it. Now, and I'll put anything that you want on my hat, so we'll be mutually exclusive on that as well.
We will be sporting the Captain Jack pins at the racetrack, and we'll
That's
see. We'll see how long. I hope that's going to give us the luck that we need to get a little better this season. We've been off to a little rough start, So hopefully that pin will give the energy to the horses. Who knows? I mean,
yeah.
sometimes it works.
I was gonna say I was at the game the other night with the in Tampa
Yeah.
with the Eagles playing, and I was decked out in my normal Captain Jack attire. Actually a little underdressed, but I had my hat, I had my silver and black, and my actually the same suspenders that you see here. So I was decked out as normal, and what? Yeah, it's because I actually would say I don't have a Captain Jack pin. They're hard to find. That was one that fell off my hat. So I'll have to try to get it. But we will make sure that we try to take care of that. And again, and for those that don't know, this is the very first time I've had a face-to-face with Mac. I've spoken to him on the phone once before, but this is almost brand new for me as well. So I'm enjoying the fact that Mac is here on our show talking American Spring Football League. And like I said, Mac, when we go, I will bring my cowboy hat, sir, because again, you'll make me look good in it because I'll be hanging with you, sir. I'll say that.
We'll be running it up, and then our photo in the winner's circle will look awesome.
Yes.
Rich, by the way, this hat comes from Boot Barn, which is they love they love these hats. They do an incredible job. I personally recommend the American Hat Co. They know what they're doing really well. So but this Boot Barn, this is a Cody James hat. They do a really nice job, and it fits to the head. That one doesn't move. It's fitted directly to my head, so I get to wear it wind, rain, sun, and shine. So I'm very
Mac,
excited.
there is I think that I'm right next to 60.
Yeah,
and it's going out towards plants. I mean, literally, I'm like 5 minutes from that place.
Yeah.
Okay. I will get a proper hat when you come down here in this way, because I don't want to look silly, and I will make sure that you will make sure that I get the proper hat.
We'll get the good cowboy hats. We'll get them all. We'll get like the embroidered stuff, and then
Oh yeah,
we'll hit up the track and hit some winners. That's the way to go.
Can't wait, man. Because like I said, anybody that can make me look good in a cowboy hat, because you got this to work with. Okay, so and again, you're looking like Anna said, you look like a PBR writer, and she was saying it as a positive.
Yeah. Well, I'm honestly happy about that. I mean, that's probably one of the best compliments I've gotten, because I grew up really wanting to be a bull rider so bad. That was my goal, and I, of course, lived in St. Petersburg, Florida, and then I relocated here to New York City, which is the last spot you're going to find a professional bull rider. And it was really sad to have that dream. So I mean, that's one of the best compliments I think I've gotten in a long time. So thank you, Anna, for the nice words.
Well, actually, the one thing I can say that I have him, because everybody knows I'm a hat guy.
Mm-hmm.
I have an Akubra Aussie cowboy hat, a real Aussie cowboy hat in my collection, and that's cool. So
you got the good one.
I got the good one, the one out of Australia, Akubra, and that's what I have now. Granted, this was my knockaround hat out of Mexico, but it does the job for the broadcast. But yeah, my Akubra is actually very nice. It's very nice.
Good. It's having that one cowboy hat that you can always go to is important. I have multiple of these, and I always have one that I go to. And this is my go-to one right now because I like wearing it because it's fitted to my head. Rich, if you're ever at Woodbine in Ontario, let me know. I run a couple horses up there, so if you ever want to run it up, let's do it. I love Woodbine. I've only been to Canada, though, a couple of times, so it seems like you don't like it that much. But
hey, if you hang out with Richie up in Canada, you will get some good Canadian whiskey.
We'll get the Canadian whiskey.
The good Canadian whiskey, and Richie comes down to Florida as well. So if he comes down here, and if we get a chance to cross, then you'll see him, the big orange brother. That's the Broncos fan. So yeah, he's
Richie, the horse I got named 24 Mamba, who's now racing in New York. I used to run at Woodbine all the time. absolutely. He was a legend. He still is. I mean, he still wins. He's a legend out there. It's awesome. I've never, I know they have the little harness horses too over there. They're still running this weekend, and it's like snowing like cats and dogs, and these poor dudes are on their horses still going. So I respect that. Ever said Tampa Bay Downs and Oaklawn Park are great tracks too? Perfect tracks, I gotta tell you. And they're the best in the winter too, because like you want to run around, and you want your horses. I'm in New York sometimes. I go to Aqueduct Racetrack in Jamaica, Queens, and it's like 4 degrees, windy, and it's like you just want to kill yourself while you're there. No hate to Aqueduct, but we shouldn't be racing horses in the winter.
Yeah.
I'm a Florida boy, so I don't. My cold shield is
It's
like
60.
72. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, then, yeah,
I'm higher.
60.
Yeah, I'm 72.
Yeah.
If it's colder than that, I'm in the biggest jacket in the world, and like it was 19 here the other day, and I was contemplating getting on a plane and just never coming back. Um, Aqueduct is a good summertime like Saratoga. Aqueduct's a disgusting racetrack, but I mean, I'll agree with that. I don't really like going there, but it's in New York City. Saratoga, it's the best. And the Belmont Stakes is going to be there this year. So we shall see how that goes. Mile and a fourth instead of a mile and a half. So the test of the champion will not be the name of it this year.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, because I don't want to short shrift you. Not only is Mac a fan, obviously the dogs got him into the horse racing, which got him into the football. But what else? I mean, because we now pre-stage or pre-brief, and
Yeah.
we had our little sit down, and Mac is also a fan of baseball as well, because I was trying to tell him about my hat collection, and people who know my show know that I got a good hat collection. Who do you follow in baseball and is in the National Football League as well?
I am Mr. Tampa Bay, and I am proud to be living in New York City and going to the Tampa Bay Rays games in all of my Tampa gear. Big Tampa Bay Rays guy. I follow their minor league system too. I mean, I'm a committed Rays fan. We've never won a World Series, so I am more than happy to wait around and win one day. And then how about Baker Mayfield? What was that? Beating the Eagles. I was so happy. As someone who is in the New York area, we already hate Philly enough, and then to be in Tampa too, it was like the best of both worlds happening at one time. It was a great day. It was a great day for all of us, mainly when Baker won. So,
did you catch the game on Monday?
That was the game on Monday. Yeah. Now we play the Lions.
Yeah. I was going to say, now, did you catch the
Yeah.
game on Monday when they had the screenshot of the big Philadelphia Eagle fan in the front row?
I did. Mm-hmm.
I was the guy next to him.
You were there? You were at the game?
I was in the front row right next to him, sir. Like
That's
I said,
fire.
I was dressed up.
Is it? No, it's over in Detroit this week. Okay.
Yeah, it's in Detroit, and
I'm confident in it.
Oh, okay. So you heard it here first. An upset. Mac Davis predicts a Tampa Bay Buccaneer win in the Motor City.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers win in Detroit, and it's going to be in like crazy fashion. It's going to be like last minute Detroit scores. There's like a minute 10 on the clock, and they're tie game. And Tampa Bay gets in. They're going to be throwing the ball. They're going to try to do that short pass BS, and then they're not going to get it. And then Baker's going to launch one, get it midfield, and then our kicker. I don't know if you were at the game. That guy did not miss. That guy did not miss.
Yes.
I trust him. He's going to hit a 57-yarder. Game's going to be over. Going to be insane.
Yeah, the guy behind me was saying
Yeah.
He's like 27 straight or whatever the number was. And the guy next to me, the Philly guy, says, dude, you just jinxed him. No, he didn't jinx
No.
him. So he
No,
went
the guy
27,
yeah.
28, 29. He's close to 30 if he doesn't have it already.
Well, what I said was, I was like, oh, God, 52-yard here. That's going to be a little stretch for that guy. Because I didn't know who he was. He's not like the one guy in Baltimore where he hits it from wherever.
Oh, yeah.
And
Well, he's not like the Raiders kicker who hits everything in sight, too. Carlson.
Yeah. I was like, uh-oh, that might not be good. And then boing, right down the middle. I'm like, there we go. But I'll be honest with you, I'm a college football guy.
There you go.
You know, the Buccaneers were always in Florida. I grew up being a Gator fan. I'm now an Ole Miss Rebel. I'm so, hotty toddy. They're incredible, great team. I'm actually relocating to Oxford to finish up a couple things over there. So it's pretty exciting. I love Ole Miss. It's a great school, and I'm a big Rebel now. I used to be a big time Gator, but it kind of see. I love the Gators. They're in Gainesville. I love going to Gainesville. But to me, here's what I say about Gator football. They lose a game that they're supposed to win, and they're supposed to lose. Every year, you're gonna be like, oh, how did you lose that? And then all of a sudden, they beat like someone crazy.
Yeah.
Who was it this year? It was someone good this year.
Yeah. They well, obviously they kept up with Georgia for a little bit, and then Georgia just ran away with it. They beat a top team, and like you, I can't remember. I'd have to look at the schedule, but they weren't supposed to beat them. Oh, I think it was they won in the very end. It was a back and forth game, and I saw the very end of it. And I'm sorry there, Mac. I can't remember.
We beat Tennessee.
Well, yeah, they beat Tennessee, but they also beat somebody else at the last minute when they shouldn't have beaten them. And I can't remember who it was.
But what the Gators, they come into that game, we lose to Utah, we beat McNeese, and then there's like that game that we're supposed to lose, and it's the Tennessee game. And I said to everyone who was saying, oh, they're not going to win, they have no shot. I'm like, Gators are beating Tennessee. I'm like, it's bound to happen. It's proven. And then we lose to Arkansas in overtime.
Yeah, that was the heartbreaker. It's like, yes.
And it was like we were up, we were going, and then it was like, what the heck? The guy ran 20 yards. I remember it. They jumped off, and we get put back, and it's 2nd and 20, and the guy steamrolls 20 yards on us, their quarterback. I was yelling at the TV. I was pissed. It was like, because we would have gotten into a bowl game. I think if we won that game, we were bowl eligible.
One short. Yep, one short.
Yeah. And it was like, it was that one loss where it was like, and that's the Gators. And it happens every year.
Yeah, but Ole Miss this year was very good for you in college football as well.
Killer. Ole Miss was killer in college football, and I think it's a joke that they're not ranked in the top 25 for college baseball. I have no idea how that happened, but it's like, what the heck? That's my team, great team in the SEC, not in the top 25. And Kansas State is somehow in there, and they lost 22 games last year. So, like, are you serious?
And I'll pass you Richie Richey's information. He said he'll meet you over there at Woodbine. So, there you go.
Well, when it gets warmer, I will be up there. Because
Richie, we're not going up there now. He says, oh, it's only 0 degrees out here, and I'm out here barbecuing in my, in a short sleeve shirt and shorts. Richie, you're Canadian. We don't do that.
Yeah.
Mac is from Florida. He will come when the weather is conducive. I'm just saying.
Like, my weather for me at least, and this is why I like going to Arizona all the time, is because I prefer to be in like somewhere where people are like not in danger, but like they're like, oh, it's so hot. Like I was in Arizona, it was 115, and I'm sitting outside having lunch. I enjoy it. I mean, that was a cutoff. I was a little like iffy at that point, but like my cutoff for Florida would be 99 with the humidity to move it up to like 105. I like it really hot. Once we get to below 72, I'm gonna be cold.
Mhm.
And I get the hand warmers out. And sadly, where you are in Canada, it's like negative sometimes. And I
Yes.
don't. It was 5 degrees here. Yeah, sweater and shorts? No way.
Yeah, he was out, and because he was saying this on the show
No way.
before us.
Yeah,
Sweater and shorts, barbecuing outside.
yeah. You're not. I would never. In it, you could pay me billions of dollars to do that. I'm never doing that.
Yeah.
No,
Well,
but
he takes
oh,
pride. He
yeah,
takes
I
pride in it.
respect it though. I really respect it. You know, some of those people do that thing, the ice bath, where they like stand and
Yeah,
like they sit in a
yeah.
bath. It's
The
like
polar
icy.
ice bath. Yeah,
Yeah,
the polar ice. Oh,
big respect to them as well. I don't know how they do it because they're. I guess it somehow helps them with their muscles and stuff. And I mean, it's like negative degrees, and they're in an ice bath. It's warmer actually, but it's like big respect to the people who go, yeah, polar bear swim. That's what it's called.
yeah.
The like, and they hop in like the ice and they swim around and yeah, we cut holes in the ice here and jump in. Yeah, no way.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
only ice that you're going to see with Mac is going to be in his mint julep if it's allowed,
exactly. Yeah, pretty easy. Could be in the mint julep or in a Coca Cola,
or
ice
an old
Coke.
fashioned.
Yep, exactly. Nothing where we're gonna be in. It's 84 degrees. I wish I was where you were.
Well, he's in Hawaii, Mac.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
I've never been to Hawaii, so maybe I'll have to hit it up. There's
Yep.
yeah.
Raider
Supposedly
Rick is a
there's
good
that
friend of the show.
there's a pineapple plantation there, the Dole thing. I saw a video on that. It looked cool.
And this is way off the subject, which is
Yeah.
normal for me. Do you notice that you can't find pineapple cream cheese the last 3 years?
Where'd it go?
It was one of my favorites. You can't find it. I don't know. Maybe Rick can say, is there a pineapple shortage that we don't know about? Because you can't find Philadelphia whipped pineapple cream cheese. I know it's off the subject, but that was my
Discontinued.
favorite cream cheese.
Publix. Do you go to Publix? I go to Publix.
Yeah, I go to Publix.
Used to have, and they just got it back actually because they finally caved in. But they used to have this peppermint ice cream where it was like peppermint, it was like candy cane, and they had it year round. It was the best ice cream in the world. I used to eat it all the time. And then they discontinued it for like 8 years. And then I was in Publix the other day and I see it. And I actually thought I like was in a dream because I was like
Yeah.
same box and everything.
Was it Bluebell?
It was no, not
was it Bluebell?
Publix brand, which
Publix
is like
brand.
the
Okay.
basic brand, and it's so good. And I ship it up here sometimes. I ship key lime pie up here sometimes because I miss my key lime pie.
Oh yes. Oh
Yeah.
yes. And Rick says he can get us some pineapple jelly. Rick, I just want pineapple cream cheese. That's all I want.
Cheese.
I want pineapple cream cheese to put on my crackers and to get this a little bit more fat because you can never have that. You can never have that as much as you need that. And yeah, Richie Riche says candy cane ice cream is the best. So you're already scoring points up north in Canada too, as well, Matt.
It was so good. I think majority of my it's sold here in Canada until February. Okay, so maybe I'll cave in and have to go up there just to grab the ice cream, and then I'm running out. I'll be like We like run in with the ice cream. They're like, "Oh, we got a runner." I'm like, "Don't worry, just get in the ice cream."
Yeah, go in and out of the do free, and you're
Yeah,
good, and have people block for you. Just go across and come
yep.
back. Well, let me ask.
Transaction.
Because the Bucks are going to Detroit, and Windsor's right across. Are you planning on going to the Bucks game, making a surprise appearance?
I will not be at the Bucks game.
Okay, I was just
I,
wondering.
I gotta be honest. I've never been to Detroit. I've heard a lot of things about it. What counts as being in a city? Because, like, for example, I will say I've landed in a Delta plane at Detroit, sat at the airport for 2 hours, and then got on a plane somewhere else.
No, no, you
Some
got it. Yeah,
some
that
people,
don't count.
I
That
don't
don't
count.
count.
I
Right, right.
really just that's like if I do a layover, if I lay over somewhere, it's like I didn't go to Dallas today. If I had a layover in Dallas, I I went here, layover in Dallas, and then went here. I
Right.
think you have to leave the airport to make it count.
Well, I'll give you an addendum. I'll give
Hmm.
you an addendum. I've been to Egypt because I landed in Cairo and physically walked down on the tarmac.
You walked, but that's the thing. You walked on the land.
You
Like
walked
I don't.
on the cement. Yes.
Yeah, I don't count the airport, and I don't count the like. Some people are like, oh, but if you go outside to like the smokers lounge, you technically have hit the air, and it counts. I'm like, if you're getting that technical, you might
Yeah.
as well just walk out and come back in.
Right
I
now,
think,
that's my asterisk. I said yes. I've been to Egypt. That's
yeah,
my ass. I tell people
hmm
I got off the plane. I wasn't
yeah,
in the airport. Well, I was in the airport, but I got
hmm
off the plane and it was on the cement. So I
yep.
was on land in Egypt, which is
You weren't
true.
in the building and then
Right.
on the plane. That would be different.
Yeah. So
So
that's the only thing. So that's my asterisk because I've been around the world as well. Hey, there's something
yeah.
as well. Where have you been around the world at, Max, in your stead and going around and doing things as you do?
Yeah, I get to travel around really to a lot of great places. We I gotta say the last trip I was outside of the United States, I was in Quito, Ecuador, which you're not going to right now. You don't go to Ecuador right now. There's something's going on over there. I'm not too sure. Some
Uh,
drug
the,
guy. Yeah.
yeah,
I
yeah.
I was thankful to go before then. I'm actually planning in March going to South Africa uh, for 2 weeks, and I'm going to be seeing some of my horses over there. I have 13 horses in South Africa, so I'll be getting to visit them. I'm very excited about it. It's a whole new world. We're flying nonstop though, 16 hours. I'm not excited about that, but because I need to walk around. But it's gonna be a cool little trip I get to have, and you know, um, we've I've been to Mexico. There's racetracks actually all around the world. There's one in Jamaica, Cayman Island, not Cayman. They're Cayman Park. They are awesome. They run the money. The thing is, when you leave the United States, the money isn't there unless you're in Saudi Arabia or somewhere like that. But just the fact that the park in Jamaica is like in Jamaica, I could be at the beach in Montego Bay, and then I can go to the horse track. It's like that's awesome. It's like that's fire. And we just got spammed with everyone dropping the ASFL.
No, I
Chip.
I did.
Oh,
I
you did?
put it in there. I put it in there because I apologize. I didn't realize it was in the private chat.
Yeah,
And so, yeah, the ASFL for information about the American Spring Football League, www.asfl.biz. Make sure
yeah,
you hit up that site. You also obviously have Max information.
yep,
So it wasn't and I've hit those sites before. Well, on YouTube you get
yeah,
the hey look at my free triple X
yep.
cameras. No,
Hmm.
this one I did. So yeah, you're not going to get a triple X camera at the ASFL biz for sure. So no, that was me, Mac. I saw it, found it, like, oh, I apologize. I needed to make sure I did that. So yeah,
Yeah,
you've been to all these places. It's fantastic, and all the things that you've done. Now, let me ask, okay?
yeah,
Where do you see yourself? And this sounds like a job question,
yep.
but where do you see yourself when you hit 30?
Wow, it's like I'm sitting now back in my first job when you say that.
Yeah, yeah. I figured.
Yeah,
And these are not softballs.
like
I'm
it's
gonna
like
throw you one.
I get a whole interview today. Everyone gets to see how I do a job interview. You know,
Well, I need one. So
yeah.
there you
Well,
go.
at this point, I think just go in blind and hope for the best. But what I don't know where I'll be. There's so many different routes. I personally thought about a year ago that the horses was what I was going to do for the rest of my life. And then I thought that the Greyhounds were going to be the thing I do. And then I thought, okay, now football. And, now involved in this and stuff. I'm trying to build a sports and entertainment company. Um, I think with all the industries I'm in sports and, entertainment, it it's gotten to a point where that's going to be the company that I think I'll probably be building. I gotta say though, life gets you in many different directions. I've been told by people to run for office. Who knows? Maybe I'll do it when I get to that age. You may be seeing me as another congressman from Florida or wherever I am. Um, but it just I don't know at this point. I've really hit that milestone, where like you get to you're like, oh no, this can't happen, and then boom, it happens. Winning the Kentucky Derby is one of those where you dream of it and then it happens, and you sit here and you're like, whoa, we won this year. And it's like when a dream, it's weird. For me that was one of my dreams and it became a reality. And then when you think about it and you look back, the thing you were chasing for so long has now been achieved. What are you going to chase now? And
There you go. What are your plans? What are you
yeah,
chasing?
and I'm so happy I get to be involved in this American Spring Football League because I'm really chasing for this to be the forefront for spring football and the league people think about. And we have there's competition already, and we know of the competition that's there, and it it it's hard to compete against those leagues, but we're ready for the challenge. And you know, it's not to a point where we want them to go away, but we're going to make our league the best by any means possible. And and we're going to make that the forefront of spring football. And I see that right there, American Spring Football Farm League. That's actually a cool idea. I've actually never really understood, and I understand what people say. College football is that minor league football experience. There's NBA G League, there's minor league baseball, there's minor league hockey. There's no minor league football. And what would be awesome is to sit back here in 2 years, and all of a sudden my guy is at one of the players on my team has made it to the NFL and is doing incredible things there. The story Kurt Warner, who was in the football league there, Kurt Warner was the guy who came in and he was bagging groceries, and he got to that point where he played a season with the Iowa Barnstormers, won the championship there, and all of a sudden, St. Louis gave him the call, and now we all know Kurt Warner as a household name. Um, and being able to do that and have this experience would be is what I really would love to have happen. I think that's really the goal that we're chasing here. And and with that dream, dreams can live on for a long time. And I always believe that you never give up on what you're dreaming of doing. If you really want to do something, if you want to be someone, if you have that dream, if you have that vision, um, then you should continue to stick with it no matter what. Because in my life, um, I've had I've worked on tons of things that I really thought were going to be things that would work out for for me. And I had tons of ideas, and I was really working on them, really working hard on them, and they've gotten nowhere. And the idea itself has gotten nowhere. But what I've learned from those, what I've what I've been able to meet, who I've connected with, who I've talked to, what I've learned from those, the experience I get from, writing up this business plan, um, looking for investors, doing all of that, even though it fails, it's still that learning experience that you take away, and that's really the biggest reward that you can get, because nothing is a fail. It's just another experience to learn, and you learn from that stuff, and being able to get into more businesses like this, the goal and the dream is to be able to um, get to a point where we will be that forefront, um, will be that group who is the when someone says spring football, they think of our league.
And like I said, you've already touched the viewers out there. They've already hit you up on Instagram. Richie said he sent you a message on Twitter. And the one thing that I want to make sure that I put here for you, pardon me, is that Ref Guru, aka David Grant, because people were already talking about in football how the referees manipulate the game, and how that is something that will need to be addressed. Ref Guru states, and I'm going to do the quote: "In the ASFL, we will indeed call a fair game. We will amaze the world with innovation." It's because the people that are involved with the ASFL that I know of, like I said, we already dropped Mike Dwyer's name. We already
Yeah,
dropped Mac Davis's name. We already dropped Ref Guru's name, who's going to be in charge of officiating. The people want to have an inspired product that people will gravitate to, that is entertaining for the masses. You will have a team that you will root for because it's your team. It's not like, and the people are already talking about, and I'm going to throw out the questions because it's about time we address them. How the ASFL will go up against a product of the United Football League? How do you think that you will do in the head-to-head competition? Because it's all about a quality product, Mac.
yeah,
And listening to you, I know that as president, you will bring out a quality product. Mike Dwyer will have a quality product. And in my estimation, without even hearing further from you, and I'm not putting words in your mouth, but when you have a quality product, it beats something that sucks to high heaven.
yeah. Well, the thing is, what we're doing is we're doing a lot. They what The problem with that league is they come in, and what and what we're not going to do is we're not going to be the folks who are like them. Um, I used to watch the XFL. There was a team called the New York Guardians. There was the Tampa Bay Vipers too, and both of those teams gone with the wind, as I say. Um, we're committed to our locations. We're not going to budge from them, and I think that's what's really the difference here. I'm not gonna try to sound rude to them, but they're kind of hungry hungry for the money, compared to what we are, where we're hungry on giving the fans the best experience. We're really heavy. We're community based. That's what my that's what we're all hoping to be, really touching the communities. We're focusing on the coaching. Um, Really, we're making sure we bring in the right guys for the roles. We make sure that we're really working on those coaches being the best fit for us, rather than just someone is who's a name. Rather, we want people who are committed to our league. Our owners are We're working with the owners. We're making sure that all of them are happy. You know, we're everything that Mike does, he sends over to the owners and they agree on it, and then it comes back. And it's a it even though the ASFL is a league, it's also a big team. And we're making sure that the owners are happy and the owners are working with these teams and franchises. And that's why we're so hesitant to say where we're going to be right now, because when we choose these locations, we're choosing the best locations where we are committed to being with them, not only for this year, but for many more years to come. And we do that, and we're really working with these teams. My team in Austin, really we're going to be bringing in youth football. Um, I'm big on community based. I've had a great reception in Wheeling, and just to be able to work with communities is really what we're doing, compared to everyone else. And these other leagues they're going in. Um, they promise a lot. They promised a lot in New York. They promised a lot in Tampa. They promised a lot in Orlando. And look where we are. Where's the team in Orlando? Where's the team in Tampa? And
Oh, the
where's
Tampa team's in Vegas.
the Tampa teams in Vegas? That
Yeah.
doesn't help us out at all, because I as a and and that's what I'm trying to eliminate. Folks are going to be here, where we get to that point where and this is what we run into with arena football. The first question I got asked in arena football was, how long are you planning to stay in? Because in Wheeling they left, and they just left. They picked up and they moved to Bridgeport, Connecticut. And the question is, how long are you going to stay? Because at one point, if you're a team and you go in and you leave, and some guy comes in and then opens another team and leaves, and another and leaves, and another and leaves, uh, the commitment that you're getting from the fans is not there. So being really committed to that community is what we're going to do, because um, we're going to be staying here, for good. And I see someone says, what days will the games be, and what channels? We're all working on that right now, and we'll have that information for you. Um,
John, just stand by. Like I said, when the information comes out, you'll hear it from the website, and I will pass as much information as possible. I'll be a sound piece. Obviously, Mac is a sound piece.
yeah,
Mike Dwyer is a sound piece. We will get you the information because, again, the ASFL is a product that is inspired by quality and making sure that it is a quality product for the masses. And as Max said, it is a community oriented league. It's not just, hey, we stamp a name with a city and that's your team, and they don't even play there. And but the community outreach that the ASFL envisions with Mac under the leadership as president, I have no doubt that him as president and whoever all of the owners are as they come in, it will be a quality product with community outreach and support of the fans. If you don't have your fans,
no,
you are a disenfranchised franchise, and that's the
yeah.
best way to say it.
And well, I can answer the days question. Friday, Saturday, Sunday is what we're playing in, throughout the spring. There may be that occasional Thursday night game, um, but days saying days right now is pretty difficult because you want to make sure that the arenas are also. It's not like I tell the arena, "Hey, I'm coming in playing these days." It has to get cleared by them too. So, not the arena, the stadium. And it. So I can't answer those questions on like what days fully and give you the full dates of them, but I would anticipate Friday, Saturday, and Sundays.
Yep. There you go. And again, proper planning. It needs to be put out to a resolution once it is made official. We will put it out. Like I said, Mac will put it out. Mike Dwyer will put it out. And anytime I can get anything to put out, I will. And Mac, I got one other question for you.
Yeah,
I've enjoyed,
yeah,
trust me, totally
hmm
enjoyed having you on, espousing your involvement with the ASFL.
hmm
Under Mike Dwyer and you being the president of the
yeah,
league. When the owners become solidified,
hmm
I would love to have them come in and just do a fireside chat as well, so
yeah,
we can let folks know, hey, this guy is the owner of this franchise in this city. This is the name of the city and their brand, and we'll let them run with it as well. So we will market as much as obviously they're going to market in their towns,
of course,
but
yeah,
I'll do it on YouTube as well, and they can pick this up on the site and throw it on the ASFL side as well. Because again, I know the people that are involved,
yeah,
and I know that they strive to have a quality product that will be enjoyed by those out there that love football. We all love football. We wouldn't
oh
be
yeah,
here. We wouldn't be here otherwise. Okay, I wouldn't be talking to Mac at a quarter to 11 at night on the East Coast. Okay, if we didn't love football. So that's
yeah,
why we're here, and I definitely appreciate that as well. I just wanted to make sure that if there are any last things that if we haven't touched on them, we have a little bit of time
yeah,
before we hit the 2 hour mark, because I like to make sure I cut it at 2 hours
yep,
so I can use this and I can put it on
hmm
again and again and again. And anything that you would like to make sure, in case I missed it, and
yeah, no,
I tried to make sure I did some decent questions for you. In case I missed it, Mac, anything you'd like to say in conclusion?
yeah. We're just really excited to get this all going, and getting getting to be able to work with everyone so far on this project is really good. Anyone, to be honest, don't feel hesitant to reach out. If you want to know how the league is doing, if you want to know all of that, and even have questions that you think of after this, send me over an email, send me over a direct message. I'm happy to answer them. It just we really want to be open to the people, let them know. We want to let them know what we're doing, and we want to make sure that everyone knows that not only because we're in a sport where there's so many leagues, and we want to make sure that people know that we're the serious league, and we're going to be the one that will become the household name in spring football. So if anyone feels the need to reach out, feel free to do it. I'm basically available most of the time. So even though I'm a busy guy, I can still get back to a text or two to talk about one of my favorite things I get to do, which is be a part of this great team. So, other than that, I'm just very excited. Hopefully, Tampa Bay wins this weekend, and we'll see how it all goes.
Well, like I said, if Tampa Bay wins
Yeah,
and if Green Bay puts off an upset, then Tampa Bay will host the NFC Championship game at Ray J.
I will be ecstatic. I will if Tampa Bay somehow makes its way into the Super Bowl, because I think we could beat Green Bay. I'm calling the shots now. That
Yeah,
happens. We beat Green Bay. We get in. I will be so ecstatic. I may even call Baker and try to get him on the line and tell him just how happy I am, because I would be jumping for joy as as a Tampa Bay fan. That
Well,
would be,
and
what
again,
would that be? Ring number 2, 3? That's
for
number
for who?
3 for
Well,
Tampa Bay.
Yeah. Tampa Bay has two rings.
2020.
Two rings.
Yeah,
They beat this team many years ago.
yeah,
They beat the Chiefs in Tampa at the hometown Super Bowl.
yep.
So if they were to get another ring, it would be number 3.
Well, you know what? 3 rings would be better than 2. So our
Three's
our
always
lightning
better than
our
2.
lightning have like half the world in their hands
Oh yeah,
recently.
yeah, yeah. The
So
Lightning won one
yeah,
under Torts, and they won twice
was it?
under.
Did we get 2-peat or 3-peat? We got
Well, they
2.
had a two-peat, and
Okay,
they
yeah,
didn't quite get the three-peat. They were there for it, but they didn't quite get the three-peat. But they won one under Torts, and then they won 2 under their current coach,
yeah,
and great guy that he is as well. So, and they were in the third. They were in the Stanley Cup for their what could have been a three-peat. They didn't quite make it, but yeah, they won.
we
The
came
Tampa Bay
close.
Lightning has won 3.
We came close, and you know what? That's okay. You
Yeah,
can't win them.
yeah. Well, like I said, hey, who could say that they were in the Stanley Cup Finals 3 years in a row? Not too many people.
Yeah, exactly.
And no, so I just want to say, sir, thank you for being here.
Yeah, of
It
course.
was my pleasure, and I appreciate you coming on. I tried to get all of the graphics up as I'm like, hey, throw me this, throw me
Yeah,
that, and I apologize for some of the the when you didn't hear from me, it was because I was trying to work at least the graphic issue for YouTube. So that it shows you. And it shows my little cartoon character, and obviously it shows the Raider shield, because if it's a Captain Jack production, you're gonna see a Raider shield. I can play with that at a later time as well. I'm not a super graphic artist, but I can do decent under a drop of a hat. So we'll do that as well. So again, I am Captain Jack Rackham, the gentleman that we've had a chance to listen to and be really enjoy the time with is the real Mac Davis, Mac the Knife. He said he's not singing the country songs. He's singing Mac the Knife. And like I said, the knife that he wields is with the American Spring Football League under Mike Dwyer and Mac Davis. And coming to a city near you, please stay tuned. As information comes out, it will be put out. Go to the websites, and we hit the website up, asfl.biz. I gave you Mac's Twitter. I gave you Mac's Instagram. Follow him for information about thoroughbred racing and the dog track. And it is a shame because Derby Lane, which is right by where I used to work at McDill,
yeah.
I haven't been inside since they took the dogs out. I know that it's a full gambling casino now, but it's a shame because Derby Lane was an experience. It was a clean park, and they took care of their animals. So if you're listening to the people that are going off on hearsay and an agenda,
Yeah.
please listen to the people that know. Mac is an owner. Mac is he has the dogs up in West Virginia. He is a thoroughbred owner. So again, people that know, listen to the people that know, and don't just listen to a bunch of crap. That's the best way to say it. Mac, again, I appreciate it, sir. If you will, please don't go nowhere. I'm going to do an ending to my folks, and don't go nowhere real quick. But again, I appreciate your time, Mac, and I'll see you once we do the final credits of the show. It's been a pleasure. The real Mac Davis, president. In fact, let me get this off so you can see it as well. The president of the American Spring Football League. Thanks again, sir, for being here on our show.
Of course. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, sir. And again, Mac's going to be backstage. I'll get a chance to talk with him in a bit. And again, hit the like, hit the share, get this shared up. The American Spring Football League, as per information, slated to come at you in the spring of 2025 if all goes well, according to Mac. And I'm going to be doing some summarizing, looking at between 6 to 8 teams per Mac, and they'll make it happen. expected, anticipated, or trying to be a Friday, Saturday, Sunday league. But again, things are fluid. As things get solidified, go to the ASFL website, go to Mac's Twitter, go to his IG, talk about what you need to talk about, and Mac will get back with you very, very quickly. I was surprised when I followed him on LinkedIn. I got a link back the very next day, and we've been talking about it since. So again, I thank Mac Davis. I thank all the people that came in here and contributed. I thank Ed Winchell for his tutelage here and his input. I thank Ref Guru, aka David Grant, who will be running the officiating for the American Spring Football League. Obviously, I appreciate Michael Dwyer, who's the spearheading this effort of the American Spring Football League, and Mac Davis, the president, who's going to make things happen. I bid you adieu. I hope you enjoyed the show. Please, again, like, share, put this out there. The ASFL is coming at you. Get ready for it. When we know, we will share. We will put it out there to you. So again, thanks again, everybody. We will see you on the next show. And just keep up. Take care, everybody. We'll see you soon.